Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My dear students, I am Murad Chaudhary, Senior Lecturer, Department of English Studies, Milestone College, Uttara Dhaka. Welcome to my today's online lecture. Chapter 5, Section 3. Section name is Forest Nursery, and this is the second lecture of this section. Last lecture we discussed about the concepts, necessity, types of forest nursery, then collection and storing of forest nursery. Today's topic is technique of preparing forest nursery and some important methods, maths and their solution. So first one is techniques of forest nursery. So preparing of permanent and temporary, we have to follow or we have to plan and maintain some rules. Basically, we are talking about today the permanent nursery. The permanent nursery is established to raise seedling commercially. That means forest department, horticulture department, BADC field, private nursery centers are permanent nursery. And considering this establishment, we are discussing about some topics which we follow or plan for permanent nursery. And the point should be selection of site, determining the land area, then fence preparation. In the fence preparation, there will be brick walls, barbed wire fence, iron wire net fence, or fence by living plants. Then next point is land development, office and residential area, electrification, road and street, irrigation system, canal and drain, nursery block, and then nursery bed. There will be two type of nursery bed which we will discuss later. So this point we will discuss very briefly. First one is selection of site. We have to select the site where the site is shiny, well drained, aerated, open and high land. You have to remember that the selected land should be such that there is no rainwater or water stagnant condition, and have fertile sandy loam or loamy soil, because we know that loamy soil is best for all type of crop cultivation, and definitely fertile soil. The location should improve communication, that means transport system will be proper improved, and proper water management system. It should be adequate lands and labor availability. Then next point is determining the land area. In here you have looked the table. This is very important for your MCQ and CQ and for your math solution, because after end of this lecture I'll show you a math where you need this is table. That is why you have to memorize this table very carefully. Here you see determination of area for 1 square meter seed bed or pot bed. Here you see this is the size of polybag. That means if your polybag size is 15 to 10 centimeter, that time you need 65 seedlings per square meter. If the size of polybag 18 to 12 centimeter, that time you need 45. If that is 25 to 15, that time you need 26. This is you have to memorize. Next is distance from seedling to seedling in the seed bed. If you raise seedlings in the not in the polybag, in the seed bed, that time in the seed bed 5 to 5 centimeter distance of seedlings you need 400, or you can plant 400 seedlings per square meter. And then 18 into 18 centimeter seed bed you can raise 200, and 25 to 15 you can do 100. So you have to memorize it properly. Next point is fence preparation. So if you do the permanent nursery, that time even in the temporary you need to make sure the proper protection from outside resources like animal or wild animal or people as well. That time you need to prepare the fence. Sometimes you can make brick walls, or sometimes you make barbed wire fence, or sometimes you make iron wire net fence, or sometimes you can make fence by living plants as well. It depends on your ability, but make sure if whatever you use, you have to make sure your nursery is protected, like some wild animals or some thief, everything. So the strong one will be brick walls. Sometimes some people use living plants, some people iron made, and some barbed wires. Next point is land development. So when you do that, you have to make sure the land development. So if you do not develop the land properly, your site will be not organized. That means land development works are to be started just after selecting sites for necessary. That means when you select the site, that time you start to develop the land. And if there is any hedge or need to clean, you have to clean that one. If there is any water or rain or irrigation needed, that time you have to prepare that for that. And slight slope or drain, you have to plane that one. This is called the land development, and make sure there will be no water stagnant condition in the land. Next point is office and residential area, because if your have permanent and temporary, whatever. If you're temporary, that time you can make a one temporary for office and residential. But if it is permanent, that time can make near the entrance, beside the main road, or the office and the residence should be outside the area of the seedling production. It is not right to keep residents inside the necessary. That means inside the nursery, you do not need to make any residential residence. You can make the office in front of the entrance gate. Next one is electrification. It is good to have electricity facility inside the permanent nursery. Thus, nursery maintenance become easier. That means if you have no or electric, then you can not use your or irrigation pump, your irrigation water pump, whatever. In the at night time, you can make the place put some light. If you do not have a electricity, you cannot do that. You can provide some light because of security at night time. Sometimes people can enter in the nursery and stole some your or important equipments or important and seedlings as well. And you have to make sure or you have proper equipment as well for preparing the nursery seed bed, polybag, or seedlings, like cutting seedlings, water can or water hose pipe. This type of equipment you have to store in the office. So for security purposes, you need the electricity as well. Next point is road and street. It is essential to have a main road to enter into the nursery. That means the main road should be connected with the street inside the nursery in planned way. That means from the main road you have to make a one way connected to the nursery, and from that entrance, make sure there will be main entrance, and that is that you have to organize a small pathway as well, because if the customer come, they can move around and have a look through the pathway. Otherwise, if you don't have any pathway, that time they can destroy the seedling as well. That is why you have to make reconnect to the main road for transport facility and for people come, and inside the nursery you maintain a small pathway as well. Irrigation system. Next point is irrigation system. Nursery requires water for raising seedlings. For that reason, good irrigation system should be ensured at beginning of the nursery establishment. That means water system must, irrigation system must. That means we need lots of water for irrigation. That is why you make sure you have proper facilities for water. Yeah, that is why you can make the build a tank or a water tank, and then from that water tank you can supply the water through the water hose pipe or water can. Next one is canal drain. Drainage system must be ensured in the nursery. For that reason, it is necessary to keep necessary drains and side drains. They should be of concrete made in permanent nursery. They should be kept clean regularly, because sometimes due to the rain, water can be stagnant someplace. For removing that water, you need to make the drain. So if the drain is made by concrete, is good for the nursery, and that drain will be move all type of debris, and you have to make that one, and canal and drill through the other places, go to the other place that waste and water. So you have to make sure that one in the permanent nursery. Next point is nursery block. That means the place of raising seedlings in the nursery will have to divide into some blocks. Each block is to divide it into some seed beds or pot beds. 10 to 12 beds may remain in each block. Greenhouse, shade, compost pit, place of keeping soil, etc. should also be distributed to block. That means one place should be greenhouse, other one is compost, equipment keeping place or house, then soil keeping house. If it is permanent, you can make some bait for permanent nursery, and you can make the polybag in the place. So you have to make the individual block for or nursery. Even you can make some blocks for individual variety uh, of, mm, of, seedlings. Like one place is for all fruits or block. This is flower blocks. That is forest blocks, wood plant block. This type of block you can and make for in the nursery. Next point is nursery bed. Nursery bed mainly generally two types. One is bed for raising seedlings by direct seed sowing. The other one is bed for raising seedlings in polybag. That means we know that there one is two type of nursery. One is bed nursery. The other one is a polybag nursery. I already discussed about that one previously. On the basis of that things, there will be two bed in the nursery. One is for polybag, the other one is for straight or directly. For that seed bed, land should be cleaned well. Soil should be loose by spade or plow. The land is to be prepared by cleaning all types of weeds and gravels and plowing well. Thereafter, based on the place, beds measuring 1 into 3 into 20 centimeter are to be made. After making beds, necessary cow dung or compost and chemical should be mixed. After some days, the seed should be sown. That means before you transplanting or sowing the seed, you have to make the prepare the bed. The size will be 1 meter no, wide and 3 meter length, and 20 centimeter is high, and that land soil should be proper friable, no clouds will be present, and proper leveled, and make sure no weeds and no other plants debris will be present on that seed bed. This is called a permanent seed bed as well. And then you have to mix the compost or cow dung or chemical fertilizer with that bed soil properly, and then after some days you can sowing the seed inside that seed bed. Next point is a bed for raising seed in the polybag. In this case, plowing is not necessary. Only beds should be leveled by lifting soil up to 10 to 12 cm between two beds. Thereafter, the age of beds are prepared. But depending on the necessity of nursery, big size may be small or bed size may be small or big. That means on that bed you keep the polybag level. So you have to don't need to plying the bed. Make sure the polybags soil should be definitely weed free, no gravels present on that seed polybag. Now I will show one example of maths which is very important. Before starting the this today's lecture, I will show you a table I told you, which is very important, and you have to memorize that one. And you can see this is the that table I put it here again. So let's have a look the example of today's math. Mr. Raihan from Rosupur village decided to establish a commercial nursery in his 10 decimal land. That means his land size is 10 decimal. For this, he used 10 centimeter to 12 centimeter size polybag to produce mahogany saplings or seedlings. So, from the uh, stem, we understand that 10 decimal land is given and polybag size is given. So from, if you know the this memorize this table, I can easily understand that for 18 centimeter into 12 centimeter size polybag, have a look, this is size of polybag and this is the size. You need 45 seedlings per square meter, but here the land is 10 decimal, so you have to convert this 10 decimal to the square meter. Let's have a look. So the given Mr. Ryan's land is 10 decimal, but we know that polybag, we can see 18 centimeter into 12 centimeter are size of polybag. The seedling number will be 45, where the 1 decimal land, but our land is 10 decimal. So we know that 1 decimal equals to 40.46 square meter, but our given is 10 decimal. So you have to multiply 10 to 40.46 square meter. Then we can get the actual land, which is 404.6 square meter. Now 18 centimeter into 12 centimeter size polybag for 1 square meter seedling should be 45. We know that from this table. So 18 centimeter size polybag, we converted the land into 404.6 square meter, where you find from here seedlings number will be multiply 45 into 4046. So the result should be, after multiply, is about 18 in 207 seedlings. So this is the answer of Mr. Ryan's nursery seedling number is about 1807. This is the solution of this math. This math is very important for your CQ, as well as you can get this type of math in your MCQ as well. So you have to memorize this, practice this math in your at home, as well as you have to memorize this table for your this math. And from this chapter you can get this type of MCQ, which is what is the number of seedlings per square meter, about 15 centimeter to 20 centimeter size of polybag. The answer will be 45. If you can memorize that the table, then you can solve this type of MCQ. And CQ, you can get this type of math which I showed you before, or in the CQ as well.
Very much, my dear students, for watching today's online lecture. If you got any problem, contact your subject teacher. They must help you. Thank you very much.